Guys, I am rebuilding a McLaren 720S in my basement, where I assume most people would rebuild their McLaren 720Ss, right? Now, I got it from a dealership in Miami that for some reason had some serious weaponry. Like, why were they this armed? I have no idea, but I almost had to sacrifice my life and my friends' lives just to get the McLaren, but we all made it out okay. But what I really wanted to talk about before we get into the episode was this show on Netflix called Car Masters. Now, I've heard of them before, but never really got a chance to see their builds. And a buddy of mine said that on their newest episode, they built what's the world's first V8 Tesla, which is crazy because I thought we were the first ones to do it. Now, if we're not the first, I decided to go to Google and type in V8 Tesla, and Ice-T showed up, which is the one that we did. Now, I use Firefox, Chrome, Ask Jeeves, Netscape Navigator, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and Baidu, and they all say that Ice-T was the first one. Also, if you check the dates of the posting of the YouTube videos, we were still the first ones, even before Ross Creations. So if someone from that show is watching, I just want to know what search engine you use so I could just see where that information is being held. So I started watching the episode, and they definitely made one. It has a carbureted V8. It's made to look like it was bursting through the hood. And it has a spider web front nose cone, which a lot of the builds have the spider web, which is kind of neat. And I think it's kind of cool that the drive shaft is on the inside, so it's very easy to maintain. And I think it's cool that you could watch your drive shaft spinning next to your arms and legs at 3,000 RPM. They have a very different style, which doesn't match mine, but I think I know why people watch their show. But when things get challenging, I take breaks to relax or naps. But when I take a break, many of you know I'm a big gamer, and it's time to tell you about War Thunder. Why? Because it's free. And free is, for me, it's a huge-scale multiplayer action game that has the ground, air, and naval combat. Unlike most games that are rather not realistic, when something goes wrong, vehicles do not have some stupid health bar, and individual modules can be destroyed, and if you puncture an aircraft's fuel tank, it will catch fire. If you damage a tank's tracks, it will be immobilized. They even have a massive update called Air Superiority, which introduces advanced military equipment that will blow your mind. We're talking about the legendary T-90M, the iconic Su-27, and the Abrams TOS-2 modification, the legendary Gripen fighter, and the formidable F-15 Eagle. They've completely reworked explosion and fire effects, making the battles even more intense. Plus, they've added a brand new map, Volcano Valley, and it's the perfect place to test the latest aircraft in battles among volcanoes. So if you're a big fan of military vehicles like myself, you'll be thrilled at how detailed every element of the equipment is in War Thunder, both visually and in gameplay, making each machine distinct in battle with all of its own unique features, just like the real thing, minus, well, consequences. So download War Thunder for free by using the link in the description, and all new players and those who haven't played War Thunder for half a year or more will receive some special bonuses. Rentals for the P-40-E-1 aircraft and M4 tank for a week, along with free unique skins for them, a special decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, 3 premium vehicles for free, and a week of premium account, and even more holiday gifts. Hurry up, the American Vehicle bonus season will end soon. Okay, so after getting the wheels off of the car, unfortunately, one of the McLaren wheels suffered some serious damage. The main wheel that was damaged was the rear driver's side one, and because these wheels are directional blades, each wheel is individual to the car. Not only does it go on a specific side, but it also goes on a specific corner of the car. And here is that same wheel stripped down so you can see just how deep the gash was. And here's the aftermath. Now, the company did an awesome job fixing this wheel and making it look brand new again, but unfortunately when we went to balance it, the wheel was too far gone to repair. The hub was actually warped. So not only was the wheel oval shaped, but the hub was warped internally, so it actually rocked side to side. Unfortunately, because this is a high performance car, this wheel is junk, so I had to get a new set of wheels, and you're never gonna guess from where. Yes, I got the wheels off of eBay. Thank you, eBay Motors. And these wheels are absolutely beautiful. I got them in time, and these are going to be the new ones. Next, we're going to drop off all the body parts for paint. I took them to my friend Dan at Dan's Autobody in Peabody, the same company that replaced the cracked McLaren windshield and top roof glass, and I labeled all of the parts that I wanted to be black on the car. Many of these parts were a strange kind of gray color, and I wanted to change that gray to black to break it up a little bit more. That and finding black touch-up paint is a lot easier than that McLaren color. But still, there has to be at least 100 individual pieces here. And in the meantime, while Dan's painting these pieces, let's install the downpipes, and we're waiting for the pieces to get painted. All right, so when doing this, I have to remove what looks like this O2 sensor. As you can see by my little yellow hand right here, there's a secondary O2 sensor a little bit more upstream right here, but I'm pretty sure I have to remove those two things first. Also, it looks like there's a heat shield that's surrounding the downpipe, and I don't believe that comes off, but that heat shield is kind of big, so it might be kind of awkward removing this, considering the heat shield adds another like ½ inch on either side. So this could get kind of awkward to remove, but first I want to work on pulling out both of those O2 sensors. Okay, now that I've loosened the O2 sensors, I want to get to these 4 bolts right here. There's one here, one up here, one at the very top that you can't really see so well, but I'm going to shine it up there. One right there where that white part is, and there's also one on the other side. So I'm going to take you guys under there with me as I'm loosening them. This actually doesn't seem that bad so far. All right, now we have this 13mm on that last one, and it's coming out very, very easily. This car has about 18,000 miles on it, and things look pretty good so far. You can tell that this thing has been driven in a very nice, warm climate, no salt on the roads. Obviously, most supercars aren't driven that hard, but this is actually going pretty decently well so far. So I have that 13mm on this. The 3/8 drive is a little bit too big to get in there, but this is a slow and steady process, but it's going by pretty good. All right, and on this side, there's that last mount. It's amazing how rusty that is. I'm surprised the amount of rust is built up on that. It wasn't put in an ideal spot, and assuming when it rains, all the water just kind of pools right there. For this downpipe, and I believe once that's out of the way, I should be able to get out of the way. And I believe once this is off, I should be able to kind of twist it and contour it out. There you go, folks. O2 sensor's out. There it is, folks. That is the downpipe. That's nice and pretty. Oh, shoot. That is the old McLaren 720S downpipe, and here is the new sleek one. I'll tell you, the old one is significantly heavier than the new one. The old one has the catalytic converter down here, which is actually pretty sizable, and there is a very small catalytic converter in here. It's somewhere a little bit more upstream. I think the cat is somewhere around here. You have to make sure you have emission control devices on all of your vehicles. Don't go catless because of the smell, and it's bad for the environment. So there is a cat somewhere down there. It's already in there. That was so much easier. I could do that all day.
It's really busted.
Oh, busted.
Yeah. So that is a little scuff pad would have resolved the problem, but maybe was a little too expensive for them.
So the clear coat went on very thin in this area. Or
it was not prepped, so it was not sanded, so the paint and the clear coat could bond to it. Gotcha. So when they apply the clear coat, look at that, it's coming right off.
I see. Yeah, they definitely got lazy because they know that this wing piece covers this up. So they're just like, who cares? Wing piece, glue it, call it a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it. But good find. Yeah, you can kind of see there's a lot of orange peel. They just didn't do it. Super
dry.
Yeah.
Extremely complex to be able to refinish in this angle.
Right.
You know, especially because like on the back side, how do you actually get the spray gun in the outside
so it lays evenly?
So it's evenly. So we're gonna have to go light coat to clear coat to prevent the clear coat from running. But that would be interesting.
Well, thankfully, this is how you open the door. This is on the inside door.
Oh, but it has to be perfect.
It has to be, yes, it does have to be perfect.
It does.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be fun. You had some of the pieces that were gray, just like this lip, I believe.
Yep. Oh, this is the rear diffuser piece. This goes back here. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many pieces, I don't even know what's what anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
But yeah, all of this is going to be paint matched. Well, not paint matched. It's going to be jet black. So we're going to have some nice accents along with the collar.
Gotcha.
But there's just a lot of pieces. I mean, the amount of pieces that we have, this is definitely a puzzle.
Well, I definitely bit off more than I can chew, but look at all these parts. This used to be hard and perforated plastic, remember? Look at that, it looks beautiful now. These parts look awesome. But they called me to ask for an inventory, and guess what? I don't even know what all this stuff even is. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know what this stuff is. Okay, now here's the real issue. The car does run, but it does not drive. So I have never seen the rear wheel spin on this car under its own power. So as nice as it is seeing it in the garage, it has to eventually get out of the garage driving under its own power. So remember, because McLaren puts things in weird places, the old transmission computer got cracked when it was hit. So when you put a new transmission computer in the car, there's a few things you have to do with Diagcode to get it to work. So you have to do the transmission adaptation procedure, and there's a couple of really easy steps you got to do. You got to scan the car first, then you have to use the SBC unpair immobilizer, which is a security body controller. Then you have to unpair the transmission control unit. Then for the ECU, you have to unpair that immobilizer as well. Then when you go back to the security body controller, you have to align the vehicle again. And after that, guess what? The wheel spins. So whenever you need help, Diagcode can kind of jump in remotely and do a lot of these things for you. And if you have any issues with this that you don't want to do yourself, and it's just as good as a McLaren tool, but it's a lot less money. So I highly recommend them if you have a McLaren. So check them out. This is just insane, Joey. Look at this.
Oh, it's actually double-sided tape.
Yeah, it's actually,
wow.
they taped this whole thing together.
What is that?
It's the cover for the light. So I can't change this bulb unless I remove the double-sided tape.
You think they have like a partnership with 3M?
Dude, they got it. Look at this. Why was this glued on?
There's no reason.
I just want to show you guys how much of a pain this is. I brought the front bumper upstairs to do this in the living room. And if you look carefully, this is like very precise origami that you have to do. So this first piece goes in there, and that finishes the front duct for the headlight. Then you have to have this creative piece that kind of goes in on top of that. Why they didn't design this as a single piece, I guess I really have no idea. But that goes in there like that. Right, and then you think you're done. You're not done yet. You also have the side piece that goes in here. And after that, you have the turn signal. So after this goes together, that's bolted in, the turn signal goes in there. Then you have the front bumper sensor wire. So this is actually a complex piece. And now I understand why they get wrecked so easily. The second you crack all this stuff up, this is at least a couple $1,000s worth of things right here. So the second that this cracked, which is very easy to break, I mean, you're looking at a small fortune to fix this. Another annoying part about this car is that the way these two pieces go together make very little sense. Like, how do these pieces even interject, right? So they go like this. It locks in right here. But look at the bottom. This doesn't make any sense. Look, totally locked in there. Those don't line up. Nothing about this is making sense, but Another strange design choice they made was as follows. They have this that goes to the bottom here. That goes on that side. And it's almost like an ear. When that one goes in, this one goes in on the inside, which is, this is just insane. The whole design is insane. It goes like that. That doesn't even look good. This makes no sense. Okay, now we're gonna go through the process of making sure everything works. Both fenders are on. That took forever. The front bumper is officially on. The headlights are fitted in. Let me turn this thing on and see what I could do. Let's do hazards first. Oh, ow. Let those side indicators work. Hazards work. Let's see, that side indicator works. Now we're gonna go for the individual turn signals. Let's make sure right is left and left is right. That's left. Left one's on. That's right. Right one's on. Back lights are also working. I think we're good to go here. So at first I was worried about the panel gaps after I assembled the car, and the fitment on the car was going to be kind of terrible. But after going to the McLaren dealer, I've learned that all the cars are shipped like that. It's actually a flaw in the manufacturing procedure. These brand new cars all have this tiny gap in their rear quarter panel. They all have the same problem. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. The car runs, it will move under its own power. It's painted, and in the next video, we go for the first maiden voyage. Also, don't buy a McLaren.